I'm giving away an epic edition of Midnight WoW, and the catch here is I am poor. So we are going to be doing this by farming gold in-game, starting from absolutely nothing and making our way to buying Midnight WoW, the epic edition, through WoW tokens. And then I will be giving that away to one of you guys. Now, here's the thing. On the auction house right now, the WoW token is listed for 430,000 gold. Now, I'm gonna need 7 of these, by the way, so using some quick math here, that's gonna be 3,010,000 gold with the current prices. Now, these WoW tokens, they will be going up and down in price pretty much on a daily basis, so I might be able to get them cheaper than this price right here, or more expensive. It just depends on what happens in the economy and what news Blizzard actually comes out with. Either way, at the current price, I need to farm 3,010,000 gold. I do want to do this mostly by farming. There might be some flipping in here as well, but it's mostly by farming. So, let's get started, shall we? Now, the rules of this challenge for me is very simple. I can have one character only. That character will be a level 80 character, which is really easy to get right now anyway, by the way. And we're starting with basically nothing and farming our way to 3 million gold or flipping. There might be some crafting as well, but basically the TLDR is you only have one character, and you have to think smart then to try to get this done as fast as you can, but mostly farming. Okay, let's start. So, to begin with, we are starting with a Legion Remix character, and in this case I'm choosing a Druid because Druids are usually the best to farm gold with anyway, so we're choosing a Legion Remix character and converting it from Legion Remix to Retail. That means that I'm starting with about 2,000 gold, but that doesn't really matter too much, and you don't really get any other currency following you along from Legion Remix itself. It's basically a character we leveled up in Legion Remix, we are converting it to Retail and starting right there with a brand new level 80 character in Retail WoW. Now, at the start of this challenge, I kinda just want to try out a lot of different farms to kind of give you some ideas about what old expansion farms are worth value-wise and how they compare to new expansion farms as well. So instead of just going for straight up the war within herbalism and mining, or the war within skinning as well, or cloth farming, I kinda want to go and start with some old expansion content to just start somewhere, farm some materials, and see how far we can go by farming old expansion content. So I'm just going to give you guys some information here based on the farms that I've been testing, and then you can find out if they are worth your time and if you want to go there and farm them as well. So it's not just me farming gold and giving away Midnight. I also want to try out different farms and give you some ideas that you can try out for yourself as well. We also have player housing coming out very soon. It might even be out when you're watching this video, like the video itself comes out kinda close to player housing. So yeah, player housing will make some old materials go back up in price. Either way, here I am farming Tolbarad crocodiles, and I'm doing this solo, and in 25 minutes of farming, I made 9,400 gold. I'm going to up that, I'm going to scale it down and say that we made 18,000 gold per hour here, because 9,400 gold in 25 minutes, it's probably more like 20,000 or a little bit more than 20,000, but a little bit of it is fake value from transmog as well. So the realistic one would be between 15 and 18,000. I'm gonna say 18,000, which means if you're farming these crocodiles and you want to buy Midnight Epic Edition from this farm alone, it will take you 166 hours to get the Midnight Epic Edition. After that, we went ahead, tried the Tolbarad spiders as well, once again solo, just to give you some gold per hour values solo, and over here we are getting 6,000 gold per hour, only in materials, no transmog, just materials, and that's gonna be 500 hours of farming, by the way, to get the epic edition of Midnight. So farming this one right here will take you a long time. After doing the spiders for a bit, I also transitioned to the Restless Infantry, which is basically at the Restless front, also in Tolbarad, and over here you're farming for tailoring items or Ember Silk cloth, and obviously for all of these farms I'm also using the Potion of Treasure Finding from the Cataclysm expansion to give me some volatiles and other materials while I'm farming as well. That being said, this farm right here is not super bad if you are in a group. However, right now I'm trying it solo just to give you the solo values, and here as well I'm getting between 6 and 7,000 gold per hour, meaning you will farm here for 450 to 500 hours to get the Midnight Epic Edition. So once again, if you are solo farming in either this location or the spiders, you will be here for a long time. So with that being said, let's transition to some group farms as well, or at least one group farm. In this case I'm trying out the kinda popular Felcloth farm, which is also once again popular because of player housing, as I mentioned earlier in this video. So over here we are gathering 5 druids together. You don't have to be 5 druids, but druids are just good for moving around and tagging things. You can for example spec into using Moonfire while you are in cat form, and just run around in cat form and tag things, kill it and loot it. So this right here, super simple farm, and the gold per hour value is actually not that bad either. From this farm we ended up with 24,000 gold per hour in both Felcloth value and transmog, and even just in Felcloth I think we are about 18,000 gold per hour in literal only like material value, and then you have a little bit of transmog on top as well. In this case, if you want to farm this farm alone to get the Midnight Epic Edition, and you are getting 24,000 gold per hour, you are looking at 125 hours of farming in this one location. Next up then, another farm that I personally like doing either at the start or the end of my gaming sessions is going to be Karazhan Not Hide Leather Skinning. In this case you're getting about 7.5k gold from leather in about 30 minutes, and the reason I say 30 minutes is that you will have a 10 reset lookout that you can do per hour, so you can do 10 resets, go out, and then you have to wait. So for me, if you're doing for example Felcloth farming, the Felcloth farm is really close to Karazhan, so when you are done farming Felcloth, doing 10 quick runs inside here might be a good idea as well. Just go inside Karazhan, pull everything, skin it, and that's it. That's basically all you have to do. You can use something like Dark Moon like Firewater here as well, but I don't think the time it saves you is worth the offset of the price. They're kind of expensive at the moment, and once again you're gonna get locked out anyway. You can do 10 runs right now in less than half an hour, and like I say, 7,500 gold from leather in 30 minutes, and as you can see here we have 11,000 gold in 23 minutes. That is counting transmogs though, and for this challenge I'm not really going to be selling transmog, because many transmogs they take a while to sell, so I'm focusing mostly on materials to get quick turnovers. Now, if you want to farm gold in the open world and you have skinning and you want to be a solo gold farmer, one of the best farms I've found is this farm right here. This is the Cobra scales farming in Nagrand, where you're just going to the Twilight Ridge and you're farming for, well, you guessed it, the Cobras, and you're skinning them for Cobra scales. Now, the reason why this one is worth so much is once again thanks to player housing coming out, and also a couple of transmog items also requiring this material. The Cobra scales can only really be looted from these Cobras right here, plus a couple of Cobras in Shadow Moon Valley as well. So you will have a couple of other places you can farm for this, but this farm right here did me really well. I made about 15,000 gold per hour here by farming the Cobra scales, and they do sell kind of fast by the way, because they are a material, and materials are on the region-wide auction house, so they do sell quite fast. That being said, old expansion farms like this, if you farm here for 100 hours straight, it can take you multiple days or even a couple of weeks to sell everything, so it's not really a farm that you want to farm 24/7, right? But going here and farming for like 2-3 hours a week, completely okay, and you'll be able to sell absolutely everything, no problems. Now this one right here is another farm that I like to either begin or end my day with as well, which is Ruby Sanctum Skinling. this right here is not as good as Karazhan in my experience, but you get the stuff done faster. So for example, you are once again locked out to 10 runs per hour here as well, and 10 runs here takes less than 20 minutes. 10 runs of Karazhan takes more than like 30 minutes, so you get your value slightly faster, and the gold per hour is technically better. So here you get 6,000 gold in about 20 minutes, or less as well, so 18,000 gold per hour. But once again, you are locked out after about 20 minutes of farming. So for me, if I'm doing this farm right here, I usually end my day at this farm, and I log in the next day and start my day with the farm as well. That way we eliminate as much travel time as possible, so at least when I'm first here, I get 20 runs back to back technically by doing this right before I log out, and doing this at the beginning when I log in the next day as well. Not a bad farm, but also not a great farm, but I mean solo farming, it's not bad, especially if you once again optimize it so you do it at the end of the day, plus at the start of the next day. Now that's basically the end of day 1, and this is the start of day 2. At the end of day 1 we posted everything on the auction house, and let's see what sold, and how much gold we ended up getting. As you can see here, by selling most of everything we farmed yesterday, except for the Felcloth, and that's kind of important because the price was really bad yesterday, so I opted to hold on to those and try to sell them for a better price the next day instead. For the first day, we have 14,500 gold in sales, and a couple of things that didn't sell either. So here you can see exactly what sold. We sold some knot hide leather, a bunch of materials, and you can see a bunch of materials didn't even sell. So we will have some more materials to post on day 2 as well. That being said, 14,500 gold is not really that great, considering we need 3 million gold. That's gonna take us a long time to get to. That being said, I will say things are about to speed up, okay? So on day 2, I happened to stumble upon a dark rune farming group, and dark rune farming in a group like this is absolutely insane, by the way. In 25 minutes of farming, we ended up with 53,000 gold, but that is including transmog items, and I'm not going to be selling transmog items for this challenge, but if I was, like, that value right there is insane. We're looking at 100,000 gold per hour from this farm right here. However, in material farming that I'm counting here, we also ended up with 13,000 gold in 25 minutes from dark runes and the essence of undeath. So that would be about 27 to 28,000 gold per hour in literal material value, by the way. So once again, probably one of the best farms we have had this far in the challenge. That being said, after about half an hour here, the group kind of disbanded because I joined really late in their farming session and they had to go. After this, I spent about an hour setting up BFA skinning Battle for Azeroth, and the reason why I had to set that up is that you need to get skinning ranks. So you have to, for example, go and do the Battle for Atal Dasar or whatever, like the name of the dungeon. You have to do that one, you have to kill some elite mobs, you have to like set yourself up and get rank 3 skinning, and I will say, this is not a bad idea if you want to farm skinning solo. It's possibly some of the best solo gold per hour out there, but for me it's not the best. But hey, we ended up getting about 16,000 gold per hour from this farm right here, and that is in steady gold, by the way, from farming coarse leather in Zuldasar. So not a bad farm. You just fly around, you pull a bunch of gorillas, you skin them, and you make gold. They're also like super easy to farm as well. I will say sometimes they do die too easy, so you might want to pop a Moonfire outside of cat form if you're feral. That way you can group up the mobs. So for me as well, even though I'm level 80 and the mobs are level 60, I am able to group them up by tagging them outside of cat form, because that way Moonfire does not scale with attack power. Speaking of BFA skinning, here I am doing some skinning in Drustvar as well, and over here I'm getting about 2,000, not 2,000, 20,000 gold per hour. Once again, solo farming. I'm using the same strategy here, pulling them with Moonfire outside of cat form to be able to group them up. That way I can skin them way faster and way easier as well. Over here, like this place, you have so many boars. It is really great. You just once again want to have a way to, like, as you can see here, when you pull them in cat form, they just die really quick. So you kind of want to tag them outside of cat form with Moonfire, group them up and skin them. You can see them in a party here. That guy is not around me, so I'm still solo farming, don't worry. But this place right here, honestly really good if you want to do some solo skinning farming. The only thing here is that for BFA you have to go through the process of getting the ranks, but here's the thing. That adds a barrier to entry, and for gold farming, barrier to entry will usually increase the gold per hour. So going back to Tolbrad farming, we made about 7,000 gold per hour. Here we get between 15 and 20,000 gold per hour. It's way better, and part of the reason why, barrier to entry. Now, in my quest to find a good farm worth doing that is an old expansion farm, while I'm on the challenge to get the epic edition of Midnight, we also tried a Volatile fire farm, but we couldn't get a good group going. So we ended up with 2 druids and a paladin, which is obviously not the best setup here, but we still made between 12 and 15,000 gold per hour farming some Volatile fire as well. So when saying that, I believe if you have a full 5-man party of 5 druids farming volatiles, it can be a decent gold per hour like value farm, by the way. So volatile farming, don't sleep on that and give it a try, but the only thing here is getting a group going for old expansion farming is really difficult, at least in my experience, and that's like my key takeaway here from farming all of these farms so far and trying old expansion farms. Getting the groups set together takes years. Well, not really years, but it takes a long time. Like for example, the Felcloth farm as well that I talked about earlier, I spent 45 minutes getting 5 people together for the farm, and then most people just want to farm for an hour and then they quit anyway. So yeah, like it takes a long time to get people together for a farm, and you want group farms because they're usually way better and worth way more than solo farming. Now, if you are in a Volatile Water or Volatile Fire group in Twilight Highlands, and the group disbands while you still have a Potion of Treasure Finding, you can do what I'm doing here. End the farm or end the day with a couple of Bastion of Twilight runs, mostly for cloth by the way, and the Potion of Treasure Finding. And this is not really a farm you want to go out and do, but if you're already in the zone and you, for example, you're farming Volatile Fire or Volatile Water and the group disbands but you do have some time left on the potion, go and do some Bastion of Twilight. It's arguably the best way to get some more value from the potion you already have and get some more gold from it. By doing this, by the way, the Bastion of Twilight farming, we made, let me see here on my notes, didn't really make the most amount of gold, but I mean, in 11 minutes we made 11,000... in 11 minutes, we made 16,000 gold. That being said, a lot of that is in transmog value, but in material value and raw gold value, it's about 8,000 gold as well, in 11 minutes, which is not bad. The only thing is, you get locked out really fast. I think we spent 15 minutes on 10 runs, so yeah, the lockout happens insanely fast, because all you're doing is pulling one room, and that's it. So at this point, I kinda start realizing, after spending about 20 hours by the way, farming old expansion content, yes, it's been 20 hours now and I've summed that up into 18 minutes of me yapping, so 20 hours of farming old expansion content, I kinda realized that if I want to make the big amount of gold per hour, we have to get into the current expansion, aka the Warbit Inn. So that's what I'm doing here. I picked up 2 professions. In this case I chose skinning plus tailoring, and there's a reason why. Skinning, you can do a bunch of really good group farms right now in the Warbit Inn. That is possibly some of the best gold per hour you can get currently in the game. And tailoring, you can do some Darkflame Cleft farming, the follower dungeon. So I have access to both a solo farm and a dungeon farm, or solo dungeon farm and also a group farm, by having both tailoring plus skinning. The actual like cloth farm would obviously be better if I had the inscription to get the cards at the same time, but at least in this case I have two professions that I can use to make some gold this time. So right now I'm just setting myself up, grabbing some treasures, getting knowledge points for the professions, and then we are going to start farming some War Within content and start getting the real gold. So here we are, doing some skinning, some wolf and bee skinning in the War Within, and you can look at the loot appraiser. We're getting about 9,000 gold in 17 minutes. This is also at the absolute start of my journey, and I'm gonna tell you, it's about to get better as well. A little bit of the value here will be inflated by transmog items, or like the greens being counted for more than they are, but even in materials, we're making about 25,000 gold per hour at the moment, and that is with a really bare bones skinning setup. As you can see, whenever I'm not in combat in the top left corner, you can see how much knowledge points we have and how much we can still get. You can see that we can get plus 382 knowledge points in skinning, which basically means I have no knowledge points in skinning. This right here is from my first half hour of doing skinning in the War Within, and here's the kicker. I don't even have profession tools. I don't even have green tools here, so like literally nothing. I just picked up skinning, got some knowledge points, like the bare bones knowledge points. I put those into certain places, but apart from that, like I have nothing here. I'm skilling up skinning at the moment. No profession tools, no nothing, and we're still making about 25,000 gold per hour from skinning. So skinning in the War Within is looking to be kinda crazy for Goldman. And here you can see, by the way, after 51 minutes of skinning now, we have started to get a couple. I did buy myself green tools, by the way, so we have green tools now at least. And also, we're getting more and more knowledge points the more we skin. You can sometimes see me loot a razor talon like this, for example, and they give me +1 knowledge point. So every time you get a knowledge point, you add a little bit of efficiency to your skinning. So my value have gone up now, we're on 40,000 gold in 52 minutes. That being said, once again, a little bit of that is inflated value from the greens and the blues, but we're looking at about 30,000 gold per hour at the moment in skinning materials, which is not bad. There are a couple of key things here. When you're farming, the difference between a bad group and a good group is huge. I've tried both, so I've been in a bad group and a good group, and this right here is pretty good group. We have 2 demon hunters, and we have an unholy DK, so they absolutely slap, and then we have me doing some pulling. So if you're in a bad group, even with a good setup and having good knowledge points, you're looking at 20,000 gold per hour. In a good group, you can go up to 35, closing in on 40,000 gold per hour as well. It just depends on where you pull, the competition you have, so like how popular your server is there anybody else skinning in the area. There's so many like factors playing in here. But the main one is how good your group is at pulling, everybody skinning fast and moving to the next place at the same time, and killing the mobs. Like, the difference is huge. So here as well, 1.5 hours in on the farm, you can see that we now only have 256 knowledge points left to gather in skinning in the top left corner, which means I've gotten 150 knowledge points so far from skinning for 1.5 hours. So you do get your knowledge points from the catch-up mechanic really fast when you're doing skinning like this, by the way. And gold making wise as well, we're on 68,000 gold in 1.5 hours at the moment. So I'm going to tell you right now, we are going to spend a lot of time skinning like this. So after farming for about 2 hours yesterday, it's time to open up the mailbox for day number 2 as well, to see exactly how much gold we made. And here you can see we sold a lot of the items, and some of them we didn't sell either. So this right here, much better mailbox opening than day number 1 at least. So we're getting some real progress done right now towards that midnight epic edition. That being said, we still need a lot more gold. We are about to break 100,000 gold, which means we are 3% on our way. Let's go. That being said, this right here is where things start picking up. So here we are testing out some Darkflame Cleft farming to show you the gold per hour from that as well. This is about 15,000 gold per hour, but you can only do this for about half an hour at one time before you get locked out as well. Between 20 minutes and 30 minutes, and then you should be locked out. So it's a good way to start your day and end your day, or do this whenever you can't find a skinning group. It is worth noting, if you have, for example, inscription instead of skinning here, you can make more gold from this farm by getting the Dark Moon cards from inscription and getting cloth from tailoring at the same time. But for me, this is just something that I'm doing when I have nothing else to do, and whenever there are no skinning groups happening at the moment, then I just go and do this for a bit and at least make some gold as well. Now here's the thing. Yesterday I farmed skinning for about 7 hours straight, so when I say things are picking up from here, I mean I'm going to be starting to skin a lot, and I mean a lot. So let's check out the mailbox opening from yesterday's sales. So this right here is the mailbox from yesterday's sale. We're looking at about 80,000 gold, and not everything is sold. You can see we have 4,000 gloom chitin left over, and a couple of blues as well that they didn't sell, and a lot of just like various materials that didn't sell. But so far on day 3, we now have 174,000 gold. And after looting those mobs, we are obviously going straight out and skinning once again. And I'm not going to bore you by just talking about skinning, so we are going to skip ahead many, and I mean many hours of skinning. I did about 30 hours of skinning live on stream on kick.com/SolheimTV, so you can see a bunch of my skinning farming happening over there, and I'm also farming some skinning off stream as well. So this right here is where we are right now in the challenge. I have 178,000 gold in my bags, and we have 667,000 gold in the mailbox, and that is where I'm going to end the video number 1 for this challenge. Here you can see all of the items that I've sold as well. We have some more icy dragon scales from farming in, whatever the name is, like Ruby Sanctum, right? A bunch of dawn weave, some thunderous hides, weaver cloth. It's basically a lot of farming, and some Darkflame Cleft in between the farming sessions. I sold some blues as well, so like here for example a blue sail, here another blue sail. So a couple of blues have been sold, and just a bunch of materials that you find when you're skinning, right? So yeah, some of these didn't sell either. Like 7,000 dawn weave that haven't sold. Like I've been farming, by the way. But yeah, like that's where we are right now. I'm going to open that mailbox at the start of the next video, so I'm keeping them in the mailbox for now. But that's it. That's video number 1. I just wanted to go through how I'm tackling the challenge here, the beginning of the challenge, and the progress we have made so far. We're approaching our first 1 million, we need 3 million, so I'm kind of expecting video number 2 to be a recap of video number 1, and me actually reaching the goal to get 7 WoW tokens, and to give those away to you guys as well. Now, it is worth noting that this giveaway will be happening live on stream, so if you haven't followed me yet, please do so at kick.com/SolheimTV. You can even start earning channel points right now, which will be relevant to the giveaway as well. So watch right now, earn those channel points, and join the giveaway when we get to 3 million gold, or whatever the current value will be for the WoW tokens. With the current price, I will need 3,010,000. Actually, the price has even gone down slightly, I believe, from the start of the video, so it kind of shows that the price is volatile. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and the current progress to me being able to give away a epic edition of Midnight farmed only with gold, so no money spent. We're just printing an epic edition of Midnight, boys. Either way, if you enjoyed the video, it's been a long one, so please leave a like down below, and let me know in the comments what you think of a video series like this, and the stream series as well, or the idea in general. I wanted the video to be more than just me farming gold, so I tried to do a bunch of different gold farms and see how good or bad they are, and hopefully you enjoyed that. So yeah, thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next video, peace out, bye.